right, guys. I wanted to real quick talk about. I don't know how many people in this chat watch it, but Street Woman Fighter 2 recently wrapped up. So last week, I believe they had the finale episode, and they crowned the winner, which turned out to be Bebe. So I don't know how much you know about it. Hey, Bebe. I don't know how much you know about it, but do you know Bada Lee?
Yeah.
So
she does the dances.
Mm-hmm.
She's a choreographer.
She's the leader of Bebe. So that's kind of, yeah, if that helps.
Oh yeah, I remember, because I thought, like, I was like, how is she a contestant and not a
Oh yeah.
judge? I was very confused.
People kept saying that for like literally all the girls that were on this season. They're like, okay, this is cute, but they're gonna be a judge next season, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were crowned the winner. And then international group and also fan favorite Jam Republic came in second, while the two other finalist crews, 1 Million and Mana Queen, came in third and fourth. Now, what should have been a joyous moment turned into a little bit of mess, just because obviously when it comes to these survival shows and when they crown the winner, people are gonna always have something to say. But in particular, a lot of people were criticizing the win of Bebe, as they felt that the only reason Bebe was able to come out on top was due to the crew leader Bada's popularity. So that has been kind of a critique throughout the season, where a lot of people are like, it's Bada and the girls, it's Bada and her backup dancers and stuff like that, which, you know, there was like some dances that they did, choreographies they did, where like she was trying to highlight other people. But I feel like that's just what's gonna happen when you have a popular choreographer on a crew with, you know, a bunch of like maybe less known people. However, a lot of people also criticized the fact that they felt like with the way the voting went, it was basically set up to basically, I don't want to say sabotage Jam Republic, but set up in a way where Jam Republic really had no chance to win. So essentially the votes were broken down, where the final scores that decided the winner, 20% was crew performance video votes, which was collected in turn throughout the entirety of the span of the show. And then 80% was live votes that were taken through text messages during the finale. And in order to cast these votes, you had to have a Korean phone number. So essentially, the only people who could vote for this were people in Korea, and thus international fans had no say in who got to be the winner. Obviously, Jam Republic is an international group. They probably have had the most popularity international, so people felt like it wasn't a proper reflection on who was popular and who would have got the votes. And so a lot of people felt that they were in a disadvantage. This question, because I know you watched the first season of Produce 101. What were you allowed to watch?
I only watched the second.
Oh, oh, okay. Did they take international votes or not?
I feel like they didn't. At least I feel like that was a problem before, where they're like, why are there no international, or like it was hard for international people to vote. Which, when I think about it, why does it matter? This is a Korean show.
Ooh! No, keep going. Sorry.
Because I was thinking about it, because I was like, this show kind of reminds me of ABDC, America's Best Dance Crew, and I'm like, I can't imagine like the people coming from other countries or whatever, and then like their country being like, how dare you not let me vote? That's why they didn't win. Like it's America's Best Dance Crew. It's an American show. Like Americans are going to vote. This is a Korean show. The Korean public is going to vote. It's their show. I mean, it sucks because you do like them, but I don't know, it's weird. It's not like, unless they like marketed themselves to be like, we are international, but also no, don't vote. Only Korea can vote.
I think that was kind of what people were pushing back, because I feel like they kind of flexed the fact that this time around, as in comparison to season 1 of Street Woman Fighter and Street Man Fighter, they had crews that weren't Korean based crews. So they had Jam Republic, who had, I believe, 3 people from New Zealand, 1 person from Australia, and 1 person from America. And then they had Tsubasa Kill, who was a Japanese group. So that was kind of what people were like kind of getting at. Like, how are you going to say it's an international show when you don't let the international people vote? Although I guess technically you could vote through your views of like videos and stuff like that, because I feel like they just looked at all the views. But I was kind of thinking that same thing though, where it was just like, okay, so okay, stay with me. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the first season of Produce 101, there was international votes. And a lot of people claimed the only reason Somi won was because international fans were allowed to vote for her, and she had a lot of international fans, right? So, stay with me. A lot of people are mad that Jam Republic, because they feel Jam Republic would have won if international fans were allowed to vote. But you're also complaining that Bebe only won because it turned into a popularity contest amongst who Korean people liked the most. So it seems, hold on, don't come for me. This is just devil's advocate. You're mad because you didn't get to sway the votes. Somebody who didn't think the way you thought got to sway the votes. Now, listen, I know that this is not happening in a vacuum. There's a lot of people saying that there's maybe Korean people who are very nationalist that would be like, well, this is a Korean show. We want the Korean person to win. I mean, I'm curious about that because a lot of Korean people, or from what I saw online, they love Jam Republic. Like, they have a lot of support in Korea too. But, you know, there's that idea that if it's a competition in Korea where Korean people vote, there's no way ever that the Korean person is not going to be more popular than whoever is next. But I don't know. It kind of was like the only issue I had was that it seemed like it's okay to be a popularity contest when the popularity is in favor of your fave. But if it's in favor of somebody else, then suddenly it's a problem. But I also do understand that there's also a national bias that puts all the other teams at an unfair advantage. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah, but also, like, is it global? They want it global, but still, at the end of the day, it's the Korean, like, opinion that matters. I don't know. It's weird because I know that a lot of people will argue.
It seems like.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what ABDC was. It was, like, global. With people from different, like, countries. But it was still, like, focused on the American vote.
Yeah, that's true when you put it that way. Yeah. I don't know. It's really, really interesting. But again, I really loved Jam Republic. I also thought Bebe was great. I thought everyone in the final 4 were really good. So for me, it would have been everyone, like, it was anyone's game. And also, I think we also have to remember, at the end of the day, no one's really going to remember who won. I think the exposure that all these groups and crews got from this is way more important. Like, literally, people are getting millions of, like, followers, like, on Instagram because of this appearance. So I feel like a lot of them do not care whether they went home with a trophy or not.
It's like American Idol, where it's like a lot of the most popular people are not even the winners. So
that's
like Jennifer Hudson.
That's so true. Win. That is so true.
She has an Oscar now. So it's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I feel like it's less whether you win the show and what you do with the attention you get from the show.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of interesting. I'm going to jump into the comments real quick. Andy says, it's a little weird. Oh, it's always a little weird when a show tries to include international contestants or be an international show, but then limits voting like this. I mean, I could maybe see it from a perspective of, like, for example, there were members of Jam Republic that were, like, in New Zealand, right? And so, like, somebody from, like, Bebe, for example, could be like, hey, family and friends, vote for me. But they couldn't ask their family and friends and vote for them because their family and friends are in Korea. So from that, like, when you're doing, like, grassroots kind of, like, promotion, that does put them at an unfair advantage, I think. Oh, Andy also said, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Andre says, oopsies, Andre says, why is this doing this? I'm with Jazz. At the end of the day, it's a Korean show. International fans barely get a say in what's going on in a survival show. It's like Girls Planet. They say global, but they doesn't mean global. They want global attention, but not global input. I think that's what it is. I mean, sometimes it does genuinely make sense because in a situation, I don't know what Girls Planet had said. Like, for example, when IZ*ONE was formed from Produce 48, it was kind of dumb for them to not have like a Japanese vote because they were actually going to promote in Japan, like directly. That's weird. Yeah. But I feel like what they were afraid is that if the Japanese vote overtook the Korean vote, then it would be a group that was popular in Japan but not in Korea.
That's shady.
Yeah.
That's shady.
That's true, low-key. It's kind of true. And sometimes that is sometimes like depends on how much members of each nationality are in there. But I think ultimately it's like we want this group to be relevant in Korea, and then that it's like a bonus if they're relevant elsewhere. So I feel like that's maybe the rationale. Like we want Korean opinions because we want, like, for example, Wonyoung would have been in the group regardless, but the fact that she won number one and now she's one of the biggest it girls in like Korea, like versus, you know, it might have been a different makeup had international fans been able to vote. So I don't know. Leanne says, I'm sorry, you saying that it was shady is so funny because it is kind of shady.
How else do you describe that?
Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Leanne says, literally, I don't remember who won last season, but I do remember every single leader of every crew being on every single variety show and getting tons of publicity. I agree. Andre says, plus, Bada being popular or having popularity beforehand isn't necessarily a bad thing. These shows are popularity contests at the end of the day. Yeah.
I mean, look at Somi. Coming from another show.
Okay, yeah, that was true. She kind of had a very unfair advantage in that regard of being on a whole other show right before it. Andy also says,
I feel like there's other people too. It's not just her.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even Sakura, like when Sakura, I feel like a lot of people would always be like, oh my God, Sakura is way popular than every other contestant. And it's like, yeah, because she's been active at the time as an idol for like some years and was a successful one at that. So it makes sense that she has a fan base that's much bigger. But yeah, I definitely think it's weird because on one hand, it's like, well, everyone knows it's a possibility and they sign up for it anyway, hoping that it will still even out or they'll get their screen time or they'll get their moment that like gives them some fans or gets them some popularity. So yeah. Andy says, isn't there a hype survival show that's including international voting right now? Or is it already
that's
over?
What I put that on the other topics because I was like, question, does anyone understand Dream Academy? Because I don't know what the heck. Because like I saw, it was like Mission 3 result announcement reveal of the 10 finalists, and I'm like, who? Who are y'all? I mean, I remember watching like clips of like them singing, and I was like, wow, talented. Mm-hmm. I also watched them introduce themselves, and I was like, whoa, who are you guys? I don't know what this is. And then that's about it, and I still don't know what's happening.
I only hear tidbits unfortunately, I only hear the drama tidbits about it. But, I mean, I don't know. Does anyone want to explain to us how Dream Academy... Because I was too caught up in A to K. I couldn't watch both, you know? I didn't have space for both, so I'm kind of late on the Dream Academy train. But maybe it will have... It will have something on... So it's Hybe x Geffen Records.
Ooh. Geffen.
I think that's like a record label, like an American record label that Hybe partnered with. But honestly, let me see if I can bring it up on Wiki. I didn't even get to the second part of this topic, but let's see.
Oh,
Wait, the girlies? Okay, Dream Academy, not the Dream Academy. Who is this? It's like a band from like 1942. All right, the debut Dream Academy is a survival show created by Hybe and Geffen Records. It premiered on September 1st, 2023 on YouTube. Oh, it's a YouTube show.
What's going on?
Apparently.
YouTube.
Oh, apparently it's about to wrap up though. Apparently the last one's going to be on November 17th, 2023.
I mean, with 10 people left, I'm assuming.
Dang, that's so many. Oh, well, I guess it could be. Do you know, does anyone know if there's a certain amount of members they're like trying to have, or is it like kind of like A to K where it's like it just depends? Oh, wait a second. 120,000 applicants.
Who?
There was 120,000 people who applied around the world over the past 2 years, and the original like contestant number was 20. So they started with 20. I know people got eliminated because I remember seeing something from that. It looks like they have missions. Okay, wait. Oh, Andre says Geffen Records is Olivia Rodrigo's label. Uh-oh. Yenna is shaking.
Interesting.
Oh. Listen. Oh, it's a part of Universal Music. Okay. Interessante. There's another Hybe show that was ongoing at the same time, and I kept confusing the two. I swear there's like 16 international survival shows. I don't know. Oh, okay. Teddy says, I have...
Wait, Are You Next theirs?
Oh, is it? I thought that was a YG thing. Are You Next?
I don't know what I thought Are You Next was, actually. I thought that was actually JYP, and yet somehow...
Oh, wait, it is. Actually...
It's JYP?
Wait, it's not JYP. Okay, it says, Are You Next is a survival show produced by Jam Mushroom Company. The show was created by Hybe and JTBC and had 22... it has 22 participants. The show started airing June 30, 2023. The final lineup is set to form a 6-member group. Mama, it started airing in June and it's not done?
It has to be done. Isn't this the one that had like a 5-year-old in it?
Oh God. Okay.
And everyone was like, "Oh no."
I mean, to be fair, A2K also had like a 13-year-old debut in the group, so
concerning, very concerning.
You will pay for your sins. Interesting. Let's keep popping up. Leanne says, "Yeah, this goes to show how out of the loop I am, because you could have told me the show was called Dream Center of Learning." Dream Center of Learning, I would have believed it.
Dream Center of Learning. I think that's what threw me, is the fact that it's called Dream Academy. I'm like, that sounds serious. Like, is it, like, it doesn't seem like it's about singing.
Yeah. It
sounds like a TV show.
I was gonna say, or like a video game. I dream high, na na na. They need to sue.
I mean, they should.
I don't know who, but someone sue. You need to sue me. Actually, I think JYP got sued for that song.
Really?
Yeah, because it sounded like another song. So, you know.
Well, he has the money.
No remorse. Oh God. Ooh, if somebody made an American Idol group edition, I would die. Well, isn't that what this is supposed to be? An A2K was? Oh, American Idol group edition. That would be so hectic.
Would it though? I mean, it's like already formed groups.
Oh, I guess that's true. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That's how I envisioned it.
Okay,
I can't imagine them trying to do One Direction and Fifth Harmony.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Again.
I was thinking
they're already a mess. So we don't need like all of them.
That's
congregating.
true.
Like, I know.